Many say that the first stage of grief is denial, and I guess I'm in that stage today, because over the last 24 hours, at least while I'm recording this, Nintendo just dropped a giant bomb on all of our Switch hopes and dreams. If you somehow don't know already, the Virtual Console is 100% confirmed to be dead. That is right, we are getting no sweet GameCube Virtual Console on our Nintendo Switches. But as I alluded to in the beginning, the first stage of grief is denial. And today I'm going to be denying those facts. Hey guys, it's Thomas from the Switch Shop, and this is how I think we will be able to play our old favorite classic games on the Nintendo Switch, despite the Virtual Console officially being dead. First up, we've got something that's a little bit of a cop-out, but when we're in the stage of denial, no excuse really matters. We're just going to be talking about how this could potentially happen, and hear me out a little bit on this one, guys. So the first point is a new label, and by that I mean change the name of Virtual Console to something like Nintendo Classics or Nintendo Arcade or something like that. Now, not only is this very possible, but it's actually been heavily rumored in the past, as the guy who literally said, hey, May 7th there's going to be a ton of news regarding the Nintendo Switch Online service, that guy literally says that the Virtual Console will be dead, but it'll kind of be resurrected under a new label. I think he said like Nintendo Classics or something. Now, take in mind that this guy is obviously just like a leaker, like anyone can say this, but he did accurately predict that there would A, be no Virtual Console on the Switch, and B, that there would be a lot of online information shared to us on May 7th. So he definitely has some credibility, at least in my book. Even if the rest of his leak is very sketchy, it's still definitely possible. And I mean, hey, they literally only said that Virtual Console is dead. They never said anything about us possibly not being able to play our old favorite games. If you add on to the fact that the Virtual Console was only ever in the Wii DS era, it was only ever on the Wii, Wii U, and 3DS, and from what we've seen of the Switch, Nintendo is trying to shed away, break free from those restraints. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that they're just renaming Virtual Console. It's definitely possible, and in my opinion, that would be the best one, because you're still kind of getting the best of both worlds. Like, Virtual Console isn't truly dying. Next up, we have NES Online arcade games, which is just like, it's just such a dumb thing. They need to be able to like market that better. Say like the NES collection or NES Online collection or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. It's those games that are included with your Nintendo Switch Online subscription, the NES games that have included online play. So yeah, they're NES games with included online play. However, they could potentially expand to not just NES games, but SNES games, Game Boy Advance games, N64, and hell, possibly the dream GameCube games. Now, there's no real evidence supporting this, but if you check Nintendo's website with all the new online info, a link to the video where I toured the website will be at the end of this video, you can see that it says there are many new online games to be added, and it doesn't say many new NES games, it just says many new games. So these could potentially be games from not the NES era. And even if they are only games from the NES, they still said that many more games will be added at a very constant rate. The very minimum for that, at least in my opinion, is one game a month, because they literally said like it'll happen very constantly, and less than one a month is not very constant at all in my opinion. So if you think about that, then that's a lot of NES games. It'll probably end up being most of the NES games, or at least most notable ones. I know there's a ton of NES games that are from like just garbage developers. Most notable NES games is what I'm trying to say. And hey, that's kind of like a mini Virtual Console all on its own. Next up, we have Arcade Archives, and goddamn, these are selling like wildfire, even though they are really only $7 ports of overpriced arcade games from the early 80s. Yeah, it's weird to see these selling so much, but that could show Nintendo that, hey, people really want these sort of games on Switch, and it could lead to more re-releases. We'll get into the topic of re-releases in a second, but for now let's just talk about what Arcade Archives really are. These are old arcade games, possibly with new added features such as multiplayer or stuff like that, re-released for the first time ever on the Nintendo Switch. And these are very interesting because if you look at the best sellers list on the eShop, you will see that all arcade archives sell phenomenally, and there is normally at least one on the best sellers chart. Now, this is hugely important, and quite frankly, it's pretty cool. And it could show Nintendo that they need to re-release more games onto the Nintendo Switch. Speaking of re-releases, boom, this is the last way that I can physically conceive that we would be able to play our old games on the Nintendo Switch, and that is re-releases. If you do not know, re-released games have been a staple of Nintendo. From Pikmin 1 and 2 re-released on the Wii, to Metroid Prime 1 and 2, also re-released on the Wii, hell to Super Mario Galaxy 2, re-released on the eShop on the Wii U, a console that could literally already play that game natively due to the Wii U's backwards compatibility. It is clear that Nintendo really loves getting out their old properties for other people to purchase. I mean, for them it's like free money. They've already made the game, they've already made the majority of profit off it. Why not just put it out for more people to buy at a discounted price? I believe that they will do that with many games on the Switch, and because of this, we will end up with a very large library that might not be branded under the Virtual Console title, but will end up being just like the Virtual Console we've come to know and love. It's been proven that Nintendo loves re-releasing games. We got a ton of them re-released on the Wii U, Wii, 3DS, etc. With an install base that's projected to be one of Nintendo's highest, even surpassing the Wii, Nintendo will definitely not miss the opportunity to spread their huge back catalog of games onto this new system. For a bunch of new potential buyers, it just makes sense. So those are ways I think that we will still be able to play our old favorite games even though Virtual Console is done. However, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you could choose one game from Nintendo's past to play on the Nintendo Switch, what would it be and why? I'm looking forward to hearing your answers, and let me know in the comments below what other videos you want to see. We're in this sort of E3 lull where there's a ton of like fake rumors and leaks, and I really don't want to cover them, but besides that, there's not much news, so any video ideas would be really appreciated. With that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Thomas from the Switch Shop, signing off. Nintendo, please bring back Virtual Console. Okay, bye. Peace.